everyone, welcome back. I hope you all are having a great week. I hope you guys have enjoyed my little mini series that I've done this week all about dupes or cheaper alternatives to high-end products. Buy this, not that. Remember, tomorrow I'm going to do a get ready with me, one side drugstore and one side high-end, and I'm going to use a lot of these products that I talk about. Let's start out with what is on my lips right now, and it is none other than a Kat Von D Lolita on one of the lips. And on the other lip, I have Jordana's new Sweet Cream Matte Longwear Lipsticks, and this is in the color Tira Masu. These are the same thing on the lips, seriously. You know what I mean? Like, they're just the same exact color. Okay, I will say this, the Jordana ones start out a little bit more watery than the Kat Von D, but once they dry down, they're the same product, they're the same color, same wear time, all of that. So that's what's on my lips right now. And then we'll just stick with lips here. I remember this color a couple of years ago by Bite Beauty. It's one of their little crayons, and it's called Rhubarb. And this is like, I wore this one December, like a couple Decembers ago, like almost every single day. It is the perfect wintry color, but the same exact thing is none other than Touch of Spice. Like, this is the same color. They are both a matte formula, but not a super drying matte, just a really creamy pigmented matte lipstick. Now, one is in a pencil form and one is in a tube, but they're the same thing. So if you loved Rhubarb by Bite Beauty, but you didn't want to spend the 20-something on it, Maybelline's Touch of Spice is just as good. And Touch of Spice has a couple of other dupes as well, but I wanted to try to dupe stuff that not everybody has heard about. I don't know how well I did because I haven't heard every dupe out there, but I try to do the not so normal ones. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is another not so normal, and this is the NudeStix crayon. This is called the Lip and Cheek Pencil, and it's in the color Whisper. It is another crayon form, and the lipstick is a lipstick, but it is my favorite drugstore lipstick, Fergie Daily by Wet n Wild. They're the same color, and even though this one's in a stick and this one's in a crayon and this one's in a stick, the finish is exact. Like, you cannot tell a difference between these two. They're cooler toned nudes, which I love, so that was a fun dupe to find. Another one is Diva. Now, this is like a staple fall winter shade as well, and it is the same exact color as Divine Wine, however, by Maybelline. However, Divine Wine is much better of a formula because Diva is a complete matte. Divine Wine is a matte, but it's a very creamy, opaque matte. So while they're the same exact color, I actually like Maybelline's Divine Wine better than the matte version. So the next one is a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, and I was surprised that this was a dupe because it doesn't look exact in the little tube. This is the color Bitch Perfect. It's a beautiful lipstick, but it is so close in formula to Milani's Nude Cream. This is another one of my favorite drugstore lipsticks. In the tube, the Milani one looks a little bit less pigmented than the Charlotte Tilbury one, but once applied, they look almost identical. So, and Charlotte Tilbury is pretty up there in price. And to be quite honest, I think I like the formula and the feel of the Milani one over the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so let's jump into eyes. Let's start out with a formula that I think is very similar but a lot cheaper, and also this actual color is very similar. I think the Chanel Illusion des Ombres are almost the same exact consistency and texture as the ColourPop shadows. The only difference is with the Chanel ones, I feel like they're a little bit drier, whereas the ColourPop feels a little bit almost wet, if you will. But this color is in the color Convoitisse. and it is essentially the exact same color as the ColourPop Single Shadow in I Heart This. Now, I Heart This is a little bit more silvery, whereas the Chanel one is a little bit more beige. But on the eyes, you cannot tell a difference whatsoever. So I would definitely save your pennies and get the ColourPop one instead if you don't mind ordering online. Because like I said in another one of these videos, the only bad thing about ColourPop is you have to order them online. You can't go in a store. So the next one is kind of a cheat, and I didn't know if I should put this in there, but I wanted to because it is such a good dupe. Now I'm going to dupe a single shadow from the Tom Ford Quad in Cognac Sable. And this single shadow is the reason I wanted this palette, and it's probably one of the #1 reasons everybody gets this palette. But if you don't want to shell out $80 for just one single eyeshadow, I would check out the Milani, and I don't know what they called these, the Fierce Foil Eye Shine in Florence. And this color up here, oh, it's so sparkly, it's hard to show. But it is almost exact to that shade in Cognac Sable. Now, I will say the Milani formula is a little bit more wet, but I find that they do not crease on me. So they're the same color and you can get the exact same effect with the cheaper version. Next to Tom Ford, my favorite eyeshadow formula ever is the Viseart palettes. The Viseart Matte specifically, this is the only one I have. This is the neutral matte palette. And I love it. I love the formula. I love the texture. I love everything about this palette. I love the color selection. There's warm tones, but there's also some cool tones and neutrals thrown in there as well. Now, not every color in this palette is duped by this one that I'm going to show you, but there are so many similar colors that I say you could probably save like $70 and just get the e.l.f. Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette in matte. I don't know, that's kind of a funny name to me for some reason. But I will put side-by-side swatches as well. But you can see just by looking at the palette, it is so many similar colors. So I definitely say save your money and get the $10 one. I mean, it's really, really good. And once they're on the eyes, you cannot tell a difference. Now, the next one is one that I wasn't sure if I was going to put in because there's a high-end version and then a cheaper high-end version, but it will make sense to you. And I thought if you are someone who was just wanting the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette just for that one gorgeous purple jelly shade in here, instead of spending $36 for the entire palette, I found an eyeshadow that is the exact same as Jelly. Even the texture is the same, and it is a single MAC eyeshadow in Stars and Rockets. Now, the reason this is so much cheaper is $30 cheaper because MAC single shadows are now $6. So if you just were looking for that one specific shadow in the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, save you some money and just get the single Stars and Rockets by MAC. What do we want to talk about next? Let's talk about the single MAC eyeshadow in Club. Now, like I said, their single shadows are now only $6. So while it's the same exact price, you're getting 7 other eyeshadows in the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone. And this one at the very bottom is an exact dupe to the MAC Club eyeshadow. I mean, in the pan, on the lid, everything, they are exact. So if you wanted to get this shadow, I know it's only $6, why don't you just get the Comfort Zone because you get 7 additional shadows. You feel me? The last two products are dupes for high-end cream eyeshadows. And this was my favorite high-end cream eyeshadow ever by Tom Ford, and it is in the color Platinum. I love this thing so much. I love everything about it. The color, the texture, everything. I just love it. The only one downside is I don't like dipping my finger into the pot every time I use it. but I got over it because this is such an amazing cream eyeshadow. However, I have since found the Jordana Made to Last liquid eyeshadows in the color Emortal Metal, and it is the same color and same consistency as the Tom Ford Platnum. It's cheaper, it's available, because I think Platinum was probably, I think it was limited edition. But Jordana is $5. It's available all the time, and it has a doe foot applicator, which I prefer to a pot form. And then another dupe that I found with these Jordana eyeshadows is the Pur Eye Polish base and top coat in the color Suede. Is so similar to this Jordana liquid eyeshadow in the color Dusk till Bronze. I mean, these are like the same exact product, but I do like the Jordana ones better because I like the applicator. So that is it for today's dupes video, or buy this and not that. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I will see you tomorrow with a get ready with me. Half drugstore, half high end, so we'll see. All right, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.